walked through the door in the back alley, straight into the crazy restaurant kitchen. She spotted her mom stirring 3 pots while the head chef screamed at everyone.
Faster! Faster!
Sally walked up to her mom and tugged at her apron.
Mom, I need to ask you something.
Right now?
Yes, right now.
What is it then? Spit it out.
Mom, where's my daddy?
Suddenly, the bowl her mother was holding crashed to the floor.
Oh my God, you stupid, stupid woman. You're fired. Get out.
A minute later, Sally and her mother found themselves out on the street.
Mom, I'm really sorry.
You wanted to know about your dad, huh?
Yeah, we had to make a family tree in school.
Well, he's not your family. He's a good-for-nothing loser who left us. I'm your mom and your dad. And look, just mentioning him made me lose my job. He's bad luck. Not a word about him ever again. As they walked back home in silence, Sally wondered who her dad was and why he'd left. What she didn't know was that her mom wasn't telling the truth. Her dad didn't even know she existed. One day in the 10th grade, Sally was waitressing at a restaurant when suddenly a woman started to choke on something. Sally rushed to her and performed the Heimlich maneuver till she coughed out a piece of chicken. Oh my God, you saved my life! As all the customers applauded, the woman took Sally's hand and dragged her outside. I don't know how to thank you, but let me try. She took off a large diamond ring on her finger and pushed it in Sally's palm. Sally tried to refuse, but she wouldn't hear a word and just left. When Sally and her mom had the ring valued, it turned out to be worth a whopping $1.2 million. This could change their lives. They sold the ring, and with the money, they decided to move to a better house. One night, Sally's mom slipped into the attic and took an old letter out of a box. She went downstairs and threw it in the fireplace. She didn't want Sally to ever read it. The letter said, I'm so sorry that you had a miscarriage and you had to go through it alone. I know you hate me, but please, let me help you. I really do love you and I always will. Charles. But what she didn't know was that a few days ago, Sally had been looking for something in the attic, and she'd already found the letter, and it kept haunting her. Sally looked for anything she could find on her dad, and found out he was a wealthy businessman. She'd never be at peace till she met him, just once. So one night, she packed her bags, took some of the ring money, and left home. She took a train to the city where her dad lived. Now, all she had to do was find a way to get close to him. The next morning at breakfast, Sally spat out her coffee when she saw an ad in the newspaper for a nanny by her dad's family. 24/7 nanny needed for an 8-year-old girl. P.S. Only apply if you have a sophisticated British accent. Well, that's perfect, Sally thought to herself. I can fake that. When Sally went for the interview, her jaw dropped at the size of the mansion, and there was a long line of nannies at the front door. As she joined the line, a little girl peeked out from behind a tree looking angrily at the nannies. Just then, she spotted Sally and their eyes met. Sally started walking over to her. That must be her half-sister.
What are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm Cynthia. I'm running away. What does it look like? Oh, I see. But why?
'Cause my mom's getting me an old cranky nanny again.
Well, what if I was your nanny?
You don't look old or cranky.
I'm not, darling. I'm full of nonsense and fun.
Please be my nanny. You sound freaking funny.
Meanwhile, what was happening in the mansion was crazy. Cynthia's mom couldn't find her anywhere and was certain someone had kidnapped her. She'd gone down to the police station, and when she got back with some officers, she found Cynthia and Sally. Officers, arrest her! You! Get away from my daughter!
No, Mommy. She's my new nanny.
What? You don't get to decide that, Cynthia. We have no idea what kind of person this girl is, and she looks too poor.
Mom, you always choose my nannies, and they're awful. It's either her or no one.
Cynthia's mom had no choice, so she hired Sally and asked her to move in. Sally was so excited that she'd finally meet her dad, but the poor thing had no clue that she had so much trouble ahead of her. When Sally left for her room, Bella, Cynthia's sister, showed up.
Oh, you're back.
Cynthia's sister showed up.
Oh, you're back?
I was hoping this time you were gone for good, brat.
Oh yeah? I'm back, witch. And guess what? I picked my own nanny. Wait till you see her. She's so much prettier than you. I can't wait for your boyfriend to meet her. Maybe he'll finally dump you.
Watch your mouth, you little monster. And with that, Bella pulled Cynthia's hair and they both started screaming. Sally heard them and came running to save Cynthia. Hey, leave that kid alone or I'm calling the police.
What? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Well, I don't care who you are, and you don't have any right to hurt a kid like that.
Oh, I have the right to hurt anyone I like. Like now, for example.
And with that, Bella attacked Sally and they both started wrestling on the floor. Cynthia started screaming and ran off to call her parents. Just then, a man barged in and pulled them apart.
Who are you? And why are you hurting my daughter?
Sally looked stunned when she saw her dad for the first time, and she couldn't say a word.
Daddy, this is my nanny. The nicest person on earth. Bella is just evil.
Sally's dad looked straight into her eyes, and for a moment, she almost thought he knew who she was. But then he just turned to Bella and said,
To your room. Now!
As Bella was leaving, she turned to Sally.
I swear, I'm gonna make you regret the day you entered this house.
She stormed out of the room, and suddenly, Sally's dad turned to her.
Listen, don't ever touch my kids again, is that clear? Don't forget your place if you want to stay here.
And with that, he turned around and left. That night when Sally was in bed, she suddenly heard someone opening her door. She leapt out and grabbed her baseball bat, ready to attack, but suddenly the door barged open. She let out a scream and hit the boy with a bat, knocking him out. She started slapping his face to wake him up. When he opened his eyes, Sally saw that they were the most gorgeous hazel color. They stared at each other for a few seconds, then quickly jumped to their feet.
That was quite a greeting. You could have just said hello.
You could have just knocked.
I thought this room was empty. Who are you?
What? Who are you?
I asked first. Who are you?
I'm Sally, Cynthia's nanny. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Bella's boyfriend, Alan. Or at least I was. I think we just broke up for the 20th time.
With that, he climbed out the window. It was nice to meet you, Sally. Also, your accent is kinda hot. And then he jumped. As Alan drove off on his motorbike, he couldn't stop thinking about Sally's eyes. The next day, Sally was determined to tell her dad the truth. She waited for him in the living room, but Cynthia told her that he'd left for a business trip. Sally decided to wait for him, but she had no idea how long she'd have to. One night, Alan crept up the wall to Sally's window and knocked gently. When she pulled back the curtains and saw him, she looked more annoyed than surprised. If you've come back to make up with Bella, why aren't you using her window?
I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Come with me. I want to show you something.
But what about Bella?
We broke up, remember? It's for good this time. Now come.
Sally felt hesitant, but she looked into his warm eyes and just couldn't say no. As the two climbed down and sneaked off across the gardens, they had no clue they were being watched by Bella. Bella ran across the house and burst into her mother's room. Mom, wake up! Do you have any idea what's happening under your roof? You should have never hired that nanny. When Bella told her mother what she'd seen, she was angry. Poor girls like her just want to dig their claws into someone rich, and these men are idiots. But Bella, you cannot let Alan get away. I'm trying, Mom. Let Alan get away. I'm trying, Mom. Oh, poor baby, I know you are. Don't worry. Mummy will help you get rid of this nanny tonight. A few hours later, when Sally climbed back through the window, she nearly fell back in shock to find Cynthia's mom and Bella sitting on her bed. Well, hello, Sally. Where were you? Meeting up with your criminal friends? What? I don't know what you're talking about. That's when Cynthia's mother walked up to her, holding a diamond necklace she'd never seen. I found this in your drawer. To think I ever let a thief like you into my house. What? I've packed your bags already, so just get out before I change my mind and call the police. Sally was horrified, but she knew she had to leave now. She picked up her bags and ran out of the house in tears. While Bella and her mom were cackling upstairs, Cynthia had woken up to the noises. She peeked out of her room to see Sally running out the front door. Cynthia burst into tears and ran after her. Sally, wait! Please don't go! Sally didn't look back even once and got into the cab at the gate. Cynthia kept running after till the car was out of sight, but when she turned to go back, she didn't realize she'd taken the wrong route. Back at the mansion, Cynthia's mother had found out she was gone. She screamed and woke up all the servants to go out and search for Cynthia. Cynthia's mother called up Sally immediately. Of course she's not with me, ma'am. I don't know where she is. Sally, you have to come back right now and help me find my baby. I know if anyone can find Cynthia, it's you. Please, I'm begging you. Sally immediately asked the cab driver to take her back to the mansion. When she was close, she suddenly shouted, "Wait, stop right here." She jumped out of the cab and picked up a teddy bear from the road. It was Cynthia's. Cynthia had realized by now that she was completely lost. Suddenly, she looked up to see Sally and ran straight into her arms. Cynthia's mother ran out crying when she saw the two walking in through the gate and hugged her tight. Mom, is Sally going? And hugged her tight. Mom, is Sally going somewhere? If she leaves, I'm gonna run away again.
Cynthia's mother grit her teeth. Her plan had failed, but she had no choice. Bella was absolutely furious. As Sally walked back into her room, Bella suddenly grabbed her wrist and whispered, "Listen to me, witch. You're only back here because you seem to be very lucky. But don't you dare go near my boyfriend ever again." With no clue of what had happened the night before, Alan reluctantly went to the mansion the next morning. Bella's mother had called him in. When he walked into the living room, he found Bella and her mother there. "Before you say anything, Mrs. Charles, please hear me out. I can't do this anymore. I don't love your daughter." And suddenly, Bella's mom flung over a small table angrily, smashing a vase to pieces. "You stupid boy! What's love got to do with anything? This marriage is really important to both our families, and I don't think your parents will be thrilled to know you've been going out with the help." "I don't know what you're—" "Stay away from the nanny, Ellen. She really needs this job, and I'll make her life miserable if I see you near her. Now you two, grow up. No more breakups and nonsense." When Sally went downstairs, she almost fell back in shock to see Bella sitting in Alan's lap. She felt so foolish for believing his lies.
Oh, we broke your heart?
Sally started to walk away, but Alan pushed Bella aside and went after Sally, gently grabbing her wrist. "Alan, what is wrong with you? What do you think I am? Some toy for you to play with? I don't want you coming near me again." "Sally, you need to listen to me."
No, she doesn't, you jerk.
And with that, Bella attacked him. Sally tried to pull her away, and then Bella attacked her. "What is going on here?" Sally turned around in horror to see her dad, and he looked really mad. "Sir, this was my fault, not hers. Oh, is that so? Then you will be marrying my daughter next week. I'll talk to your father tonight. Sally, leave my house, now." Sally decided she couldn't hold it any longer. "I've been waiting for you, Mr. Charles, because there's something I need to—" "I don't want to hear another word. Leave, please. Leave my house." "No, you need to listen to me. I'm your—" "Is that so? Then you will be marrying my daughter next week. I'll talk to your father tonight. Sally, leave my house, now." Sally decided she couldn't hold it any longer. "I've been waiting for you, Mr. Charles, because there's something I need to—" "I don't want to hear another word. Leave, please. Leave my house." "No, you need to listen to me. I'm your—" Just then, they all heard a loud voice from the hall. "Is Sally here? I need to see Sally, please." The door opened and a really handsome boy walked in. His eyes instantly met Sally's across the room. She wondered who he was, while he was thinking he'd never seen anyone more beautiful in his life. Mr. Charles walked up to the boy and hugged him. "Oh, Jake, this is so wonderful. I had no idea you were in town." "It's good to see you, Uncle Charles. Dad and I had to come for business suddenly, and we're staying at a hotel for a few days." "At a hotel? Of course not. You'll be staying here with us." Just then, an older gentleman walked in, and he and Mr. Charles hugged. They were good old friends. All the drama happening before was forgotten as Mr. Charles led his friend to the other room, and everyone else followed. But Jake stayed behind with Sally. "You're Sally, right? I was looking for you." Yes, I am. And why?" Jake handed Sally her wallet, saying he'd found it outside by the gate. Sally thanked him, and as he was leaving, he suddenly turned around. "I was looking for your ID, and I found the letter inside. I'm sorry, I really wasn't snooping, but I did read the letter. Are you Mr. Charles's daughter? Does he know?" Sally had kept a copy of the letter with her in the wallet. No, please, don't say a word. No one here knows. They just know me as Cynthia's babysitter. I've been trying to find the right time to tell him, but I haven't yet. Can you please keep it to yourself?" "Don't worry, Sally. Your secret's safe with me." Just then, Alan barged into the room. "Sally, are you He stopped short when he saw Jake and Sally standing so close. "What's going on here?" "That's none of your business, Alan. Please, just go back to Bella and leave me alone." "Fine, whatever." Alan stormed off, and Sally quickly left the room too. As she ran out, Jake bent down and picked up an earring Sally was wearing. He smiled and put it